You've stood in front of the mirror in an outfit where every single piece was right. The navy sweater, the good jeans, the trench you spent real money on, and something still read as ordinary. Not wrong, just unremarkable. Here's what almost no one will tell you. The pieces were never the problem. Inès de la Fressange has worn more or less the same handful of items for 40 years. A man's blazer, a navy sweater, flat shoes, jeans without a single rip. At 68 in Paris, she looks more current than women a third her age. She isn't buying better clothes than you. She's making 5 decisions you aren't. And there's one word she refuses to use about any of it. She calls it the worst word in fashion. Hold on to that. It sits underneath all 5 rules, and I'll tell you what it is at the end. Look at her for a moment before we start. The navy suit with the red sweater knotted at the neck. The all-white look. The black blazer thrown over jeans. 40 years of photographs. And watch what stays the same. That's what we're decoding. So why does the same navy sweater read so right on her? And so flat on the rack at home? Because the industry sells you the item. It has to. The item is the thing it has to sell. So every piece of advice you've ever been given points at the thing. Buy this jacket. This season's jean. This color. Inès built her whole reputation on the opposite. She was Karl Lagerfeld's muse. The first model to sign an exclusive contract with a luxury house. And her actual philosophy is that the wealthiest women are rarely the most stylish. She'll tell you to look in the men's department, to keep a coat for 20 years, that a shirt from the high street can read just as well as a designer one. Because elegance was never living in the price tag. It lives in 5 decisions she makes after the clothes are already on. Let's decode them one at a time. Rule 1. The first thing anyone reads is not your clothes, it's your ease. Call it the ease tell. Inès says nobody feels confident all the time. Not her, not anyone, and that people are paying far less attention to you than you fear. Watch her in any photograph. The shoulders are down, the hands are relaxed. There's usually the start of a smile. That ease is doing more work than the outfit. And if you already dress for comfort, and if you've given up the shoes that hurt, you are not behind, you are ahead. You understood this before most stylists did. Here's the mechanism. Tension reads before fabric does. A stunning jacket worn stiffly reads as a costume. A simple one worn easily reads as yours. This is why she chooses flat shoes almost every day. Not because heels are wrong, because you cannot move gracefully in shoes you're enduring. She once said, there's nothing less elegant than visibly trying. Here's the proof. Her favorite photograph of Princess Diana isn't a couture shot. It's the one Mario Testino took of her in a turtleneck. And Inès points out she wasn't even wearing much makeup. A simple piece of knitwear. A face at ease. That's the image Inès keeps coming back to. The clothes did almost no work, the ease did all of it. The summary: ease is the first thing that reads, and effort is the first thing that ages. Before you change a single garment, drop your shoulders. Rule 2. A basic is only as good as its fit, and the eye judges fit at the shoulder first. Call it the shoulder verdict. Inès owns the same 7 or 8 pieces on repeat. A man's blazer, a navy sweater, a white shirt, jeans with no rips. A trench she's worn versions of since the 80s. People assume the magic is the choice of piece. It isn't. Anyone can buy a navy sweater. The magic is that hers fits at the shoulder, sits at the right point on the hip, and ends exactly where it should on the wrist. Before your brain registers color, fabric, or label, it has already judged the shoulder seam. If that line is clean, the whole outfit reads considered. If it's off, no accessory rescues it. And if you've ever kept an inexpensive top for years because it just fits you right, you already trust this instinct. Trust it more. This is also why she prefers navy to black. Black can go dusty and flat under daylight. Navy stays fresh and it lifts the face. And it's why she changes the cut, not the item. The navy sweater stays. One year it's close to the body, the next it's looser. The piece is permanent, the proportion gets updated. And this is how she thinks about buying too. She'd rather have one jacket with a great cut, one watch she loves, one pair of shoes that brings a whole outfit together, than 5 pieces that don't. She points to the things that last decades. A Burberry trench, a Hermes Kelly. Iconic items, in her words, that can last decades. You'll treasure 10 items that fit you right far longer than 100 that almost do. The summary: don't buy more pieces. Fit the few you trust at the shoulder first. Rule 3. Accessories finish an outfit until the exact point they start aging it. Call it the accent ceiling. Ines is famous for detail. Sunglasses, a neckerchief tied just so, a great pair of loafers, a single gold bracelet. She uses them to lift the plainest navy and jeans into something that reads finished, but she draws a hard line. Too much jewelry, she says, simply adds age. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, the ring for each child, all worn at once, that's the thing that dates a hand. A little shell on a cotton thread would do more. There's a precise point where one more piece flips from finishing the outfit to weighing it down. Her whole skill is stopping one piece before that line, not after. This pairs with a rule you can count on your fingers. She keeps an outfit to about 3 tones. 1 or 2 neutrals, navy, camel, white, black. And at most a single note of color. A red flat, a scarf, 1 signal, not 5. And if you've ever taken one thing off before leaving the house and felt instantly better, that was the accent ceiling. You found it on your own. The summary: add details until the outfit looks finished, then remove the last one. Quick note before Rule 4. If you want the exact set of neutrals that read as finished, the navy, camel, and white tones that do this work without fighting each other, I've put together a free neutrals upgrade checklist. It's the one I used to build these outfits. The link is in the description, no cost. Now, Rule 4. The plainest pieces are made special by one deliberate undone adjustment. Call it the undone move. This is the heart of French style, and almost no one explains it. Inès doesn't wear her clothes the obvious way. She rolls a sleeve to the exact point on the forearm. She tucks a shirt in at the front only. She pops a trench collar and ties the belt instead of buttoning it. She'll throw a worn man's belt over a simple dress. None of it looks fussed over. That's the entire point. One small, intentional imperfection that signals the look was lived in, not assembled. It connects to how she shops too. She mixes high and low on purpose. A luxury jacket with a high street shirt, a fine bag with a vintage scarf. She'd rather carry a real market basket than a fake designer bag. Her line is that no one should look like they walk straight out of a magazine. And here's the point most people miss about this rule. The undone move doesn't need expensive clothes to work. Inès has shopped the high street her whole career. She'll wear a denim shirt from a chain store, a t-shirt from the men's department, a real basket she carries her market vegetables in. She says, directly that a shirt from the high street can read as well as one from a luxury house if you wear it right. That second part is the whole technique. The rolled sleeve doesn't ask where the shirt came from. The half tuck doesn't care about the label. They work on a €15 top and a €500 top the same way. What matters is that one thing is undone, on purpose. And if you've ever pushed your sleeves up without thinking and liked what you saw in the window, you already do this. You just didn't know it was the technique. The half tuck, the rolled sleeve, the one undone button, these aren't sloppiness. They're the difference between an outfit wearing you and you wearing it. The summary: take your most basic outfit and undo one thing on purpose. Before the last rule, here's the mistake I see most. Even when a woman gets everything else right, she matches too well. The bag matches the shoes, match the belt, match the scarf. Everything answers everything. Ines does the opposite. She lets one thing not match on purpose. Lulu de la Falaise, one of Yves Saint Laurent's closest friends, used to pair Saint Laurent with an old belt she'd carried back from Morocco. That clash was the elegance. A perfectly matched outfit looks bought. A slightly mismatched one looks chosen, which leads straight to her fifth rule. Rule 5. The pairing that looks like a mistake is usually the signature. Call it the deliberate clash. Ines built a career on this. Leopard with a pop of pink. A silk shirt with floral flares. Pinstripe trousers with sneakers. A tweed jacket with a wild beachy necklace. None of it should work. All of it does. You take two things that don't go. One polished, one rough. One feminine, one masculine, and you put them together on purpose. But there's a discipline inside the freedom. And this is where most people get experimenting wrong. She says trainers with navy trousers and a coat look wonderful, but the same trainers under the wrong outfit, or heels where flats belonged, and suddenly you read as dressed by someone else. Her own everyday shoe isn't a heel at all. It's a pair of 70s boots she trusts completely. And if you've ever put two things together expecting nothing and loved it, that wasn't luck. That was taste. Do it more often. And don't apologize when one doesn't land, because here's her permission and it matters more than any rule. She says she has a wardrobe crisis most mornings too. Even she stands there with nothing feeling right. The experiments that don't work aren't failures. They are the price of the ones that do. And one more thing about this. It's a posture, not an event. Ines keeps updating her look constantly. She says women feel good in their 30s. They know what suits them, so they stick to that style, the clothes, the hair, the makeup, and after a while they start to think everything new is bad. That is the trap. Her answer is to keep experimenting. You don't have to dress like your daughter, she says, but it's good to pick up little things. A trainer here. A different way of wearing a coat there. Because the deliberate clash isn't something you do once. It's something you keep doing in small adjustments for the rest of your life. The summary. Pair one thing that doesn't belong and wear it like you meant it. Now, that word. The one Inez refuses to use, it's sexy. She calls it the worst word in fashion because the moment a woman is visibly trying to look it, the whole effect collapses. There's nothing less elegant, she says, than trying. The word she uses instead is sensuality, ease, comfort. You can actually move in. And once you hear that, look back at all 5 rules. They're the same idea wearing different clothes. The ease tell, the shoulder verdict, the accent ceiling, the undone move, the deliberate clash. Every one of them removes effort instead of adding it. That's the whole secret. Not more pieces, not more money, less trying. So here's your permission for tomorrow morning. You don't need a new wardrobe. You need to drop your shoulders, fit the few things you trust, stop one accessory short, undo one thing on purpose, and pair something brave. You already own everything you need to look like her. You just haven't been making her 5 decisions. If you'd like all of this as one system you can apply in order, not video by video, the Elegant Wardrobe System walks through exactly this, and the link is below. And if this gave you one decision you'll actually use tomorrow, the like button tells the algorithm to show it to one more woman who needs to hear it. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.